Welcome wherever you're joining us from in the world. I hope you're having a wonderful day. My name's Fraser Yendell, coming to you from Melbourne in Australia, and I'm joined on the phone today by Michael Bartlett out of St. Louis in the US. Today's topic is the law of attraction, and the law of attraction is interesting. It only came to my notice only a few years ago, actually, through the book The Secret, which went gangbusters, turned into a movie, and has been a lot of places around the world. The law of attraction is exactly as it sounds, funnily enough, that there is a universal law that says what you think about, you bring about, and you attract to yourself the energies that you're putting out there. We did cover a little bit of this on one of our past calls on utilising higher powers, if you'd like to know a little bit more about universal energy. But the law of attraction really says that the energies you're putting out there, you're going to bring back to you. It works a little bit, I can see, like karma to a degree, but really is the universe listening to your thoughts and watching your actions on what you're attracting to yourself. So if you're putting out negative thoughts, and the classic one that I hear all the time, we've all done it. We're driving to somewhere, we've left late, so we're running late. And when we're running late, we're going to catch all the red lights. We're going to catch the bad driver. We're going to hit traffic. And I'm not saying our thoughts create the traffic jam, but of course when you have these thoughts, then that is what you're attracting into your life. You are attracting the orange light turning red just before you get through, rather than just after. If you can turn those thoughts around to, it will happen, I will find the green lights, I will still be on time, you'll be amazed how often that actually will start to change the way that the drive takes. Now, I'm definitely not saying here that you can leave with 5 minutes to do a 20-minute drive and still make it. That's not what I'm saying. But the law of attraction, you bring about what you think about. And if you keep thinking about how that particular phrase works, you'll be really, really mindful of what you are thinking about. But, law of attraction for you, sir?
Probably the most powerful concept that I really endorse. Law of attraction is huge, and you're right, The Secret really brought it into light. But if you think back, even Professor Harold Hill, the Music Man, had the think system with the boys and told the boys in the band, think, and then they started playing the minuet. You do attract into your life those things. Thoughts are things, and that's a very powerful concept to remember, is that thoughts are indeed things. One of the things that I have been doing first thing in the morning before I get my first cup of coffee, and that was a huge choice and change I had to make. Before I get my first cup of coffee, I spend some time really thinking about my day ahead. What are those things that I do want to accomplish? What are things that I can see out there that may be things that I will encounter? And what that does, it places me on a path so that the thoughts that I have then start to manifest themselves and reflect back into what it is I want to accomplish. And then at night, right before I go to sleep, laying in bed, my thoughts again are about today, and just kind of taking a quick look back to the 8-10 hours I spent today doing things, or 12 hours, whatever they may have been, and then what do I have planned for tomorrow. So I think the real key there for the law of attraction and the law of the universe is that thoughts are things, and your thoughts do manifest.
Yeah, certainly, Bart. And that some of the things you mentioned there take us nicely into a term that's used a lot around personal development, visualization. And visualization is really what Bart was talking about there. It was a little bit about what I was talking about with the traffic. Visualization is in your mind, looking at the situation the way you want the situation to occur before you've encountered it. So in that instance, thinking about the meeting you might be having tomorrow, and rather than being nervous, worried, scared that you're going to fail, scared that you don't know what's going on, that you can talk long enough that they're going to like it, etc., etc., turn those thoughts around. Visualize walking into that room confident. Visualize walking into that room as an expert about what you're going to talk about. Visualize walking into that room and the people you are presenting to being blown away by the level of professionalism and knowledge you bring to that meeting. If you walk into a room having had those thoughts, you'd be amazed at the different reaction you get. The thing that comes up when I did a bit more research with this is, which I found absolutely amazing, is that the human body, the human brain, doesn't understand the difference between visualization and actual. Let me say that again. The human brain doesn't understand the difference between a dream, for instance, which is visualization, uncontrolled visualization, and reality. It doesn't understand the difference when it's actually seen something. There have been tests on athletes where they have been asked to visualize their race, running around the track or whatever it is that they do, and they can actually measure muscle fibers twitching as though they're actually running it. The body did not understand the difference. And for me, that started to say, look at the power you have in visualization, and look at the way that most of us use it for negative rather than for positive. So visualization is about closing your eyes, getting into your head, and really picturing a little cartoon, or however you want to do it, of how you want situations to occur in the future. And visualization can then hook into the law of attraction and that universal energy. But how do you practice your visualization?
Great segue into it. One of the books that I'm a huge fan of is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And it was written quite some time ago, and actually I'm rereading it for about the third time now. But one of the things that Napoleon Hill talks about is your definite purpose. And what he encourages you to do is to actually write down a statement of purpose. And this he's particularly talking about income or money, but it can be about anything. It's what is that one purpose that you want to accomplish? What is your definite purpose? But along with that, you also have to include what are you willing to give up in order to achieve that purpose. And then he says, first thing in the morning, last thing in the evening, you read this purpose out loud, and you read it with feeling and read it with emotion, because then it becomes part of your thoughts, and thoughts, as we know, are things. So what I do with my visualization is I get up and I read what I call my manifesto. I read it every morning with as much emotion and thoughts and feelings as I can put into it. And then that leads me into my visualization. So I start to visualize how I'm going to achieve my definite purpose. And visualizations are huge. Just give you another example. Recently, I would have a lot of dreams, and it would be about the finances and worrying about this and how was I going to pay that, or what was I going to do with this. And I really started employing what Napoleon Hill talked about here, and doing the statements and doing the visualizations. And you know what? Don't have those dreams anymore. If I wake up at night, my dreams now are dreams about how I'm going to achieve that and what my universe is going to look like after I achieve it.
Yeah, fantastic, Bart. It really is taking that power and moving forward. And what happens when you get the law of attraction and visualization right is manifestation. And that's manifesting things in the future that you're looking for. It might be houses, cars. The easiest thing I find when I first started manifestation or manifesting was car parking spots. I would be driving towards somewhere. 5 minutes before I got there, I would visualize the empty spot in front of the building that I was looking for. That's where I wanted to park. And I would spend some time, traffic lights I would presume, rather than while you're driving, and actually visualizing me pulling into that spot because it was empty. And I am amazed that 9 times out of 10 when I do this, the spot is there. It can be as busy as everything. There can be cars everywhere, no parking spots, but the one I have visualized, or the one next to it, will open up for me. And for me, that sold me on visualization and manifestation and how the law of attraction works. If you're not such a visual person in your head, you can start with a visualization board. And this is just a series of pictures, whether you choose to do it on your computer, whether you choose to have a cork board or something where you pin up pictures. And you're pinning up pictures of things you'd like to have in the future, the sort of person you'd like to be, things that resonate with you. And if you struggle to visualize in your head, then use this board, this future self board or visualization board, as a way of getting those thoughts and things into your head. And when they're in your head, they're going out into the universe. Spend some time each morning, once you've got this board, looking at the person you want to be, the things you want to have, and the way you want to become. And that's a great way of visualizing. The last thing I'd love to say about this particular topic is that it then requires action. You cannot visualize things into being. You cannot visualize becoming a millionaire and it just happen. Action action needs to go. You need to go out and do things. This couples with action really, really well. And when you're doing things about going towards your why and your North Star and the direction that you want to live, and you package that with this law of attraction and visualization, then there is no stopping you. Thanks so much for your time. Thanks today, Bart. We look forward to seeing you all again.